The SpongeBob movie, Sponge on the Run. This movie is a movie that is just yikes. First of all, this is the first SpongeBob movie that I was not able to see in the theater, and not a lot of people were. If you don't know, this movie was supposed to come out, I think in May. I can't remember exactly when it was supposed to come out, but it was supposed to come out either in May or in the summertime or whatever happened. And then the pandemic hit, and this ended up releasing on Paramount Plus, which I did not have Paramount Plus at the time, so I just never watched it. When the Blu-ray came out, I meant to watch it, and kind of just never did, because I heard this movie was really bad. And watching it, yeah, it is really bad, and we should talk about that. The problem with this movie is a lot, so I'm going to start with some positives, and then we'll go into the negatives with this movie. First of all, the positives here is that there are occasionally gags that made me laugh, or scenes that I did smile at. Most of them were not, uh, anything that special, but they happen every once in a while, so it's something of good to note. Also, I really enjoyed like this Las Vegas style setting for the SpongeBob, for Patrick and SpongeBob to kind of explore, and I wish they would actually done a better job of exploring that instead of it being as quick as it was. But that was fine. And the 3D animation is really amazing at times. It looks absolutely gorgeous. There are a couple times I can watch it and I'm going, why does this look like TV budget if this was supposed to play in theaters? But for the most part, 90% of the time, this movie looked really good. So, I still would have preferred 2D, but because I really, now we're getting into the negatives. I'm sorry, there is no positives with this movie for the most part. I gave you my positives, so, first of all, just, why is it 3D animation? I know that the kids today don't really like 3D animation, so they say, which I don't understand because majority of kids shows that are made are still like 2D animated characters, They're not 3D animated. Like SpongeBob is not 3D animation. It is still 2D animation on television. So why is it 3D? Is it just to differentiate itself from the show? I don't really know why that decision is made. Maybe it's to give it more of a movie feel. I don't feel like it really does that. But I don't know why they choose to do that. I just don't understand the idea of like, oh, fuck. We can't have 2D anymore, even though the show's animated in 2D. I really hope this is not what the Simpsons movie does. I don't think they're that dumb to do that. But it is just like, why can we not have 2D animated movies even when it's based on a 2D animated show? It is so fucking stupid. People did not stop going to see 2D animated movies because they're 2D animated. They didn't go to see those movies for various reasons, whether it be marketing, bad release dates, or whatever the fuck it is, but these studios just don't want to even risk it, even though it has nothing to do with that. It doesn't make any sense. But I digress. But really, what I hate about this movie is it's just bad on the fact that it is just so many different episodes of the show just thrown together, and also elements of the SpongeBob movie. First of all, you got characters going on a quest to go see the king. Or we're not, no, well, we're not see the king. You got characters in a situation that involves King Neptune, just like the first SpongeBob movie. They're trying to find Gary, just like in Gary Come Home, which is a much better episode. The King Neptune was done much better in the first SpongeBob movie. It's just so many of these things that feel like, why is this a movie? Because if I can watch better episodes of the show that feel more cinematic than this movie is, I don't really get it. At least the SpongeBob movie previous to this, which really didn't feel so much like a movie, it at least was funny enough and entertaining enough that I don't really care because I had a good enough time and I laughed a lot. This one I didn't really laugh that much. I mean, there were gags a couple times that made me laugh, but majority of this movie was just boring, very flat energy, and I was kind of all over the place in a really bad way. Like some of this movie is like a prequel to that Camp Coral show that they did, which I actually thought was a decent show, but like, why is this inserted into this movie? Doesn't really have much to do with the main plot of the movie. Um, you know, it just felt really just lame and just boring. I didn't laugh. I didn't. There it felt like there was no energy or creative vision behind this movie. It felt like this was made by executives, where none of the other SpongeBob movies previous to this did feel like that. And so this feels like modern SpongeBob to me at its worst, which a lot of people who really don't like modern SpongeBob will tell you, oh, it's just insufferable. I disagree. Modern SpongeBob is not like modern Simpsons, where the earlier episodes, funny, laugh out loud, you have a great time. There are jokes a minute, they're really funny, they're really sharp, but then you get to the later episodes, and they're not funny anymore, and they're just boring. Like I was watching a modern Simpsons episode today, and it was like well, I say modern, but it's not really modern. But I'm watching one of the later ones, basically season 12 episode, and it's like an episode where they get like a tennis court in their house. It makes you go, why would these characters do this? And that's basically the feeling I have with modern SpongeBob, and that's kind of what this movie is. It's just a lot of like that, of like, this is so boring, and why would these characters do this? It isn't like the most like painful thing. Like I sat through the movie, but it was one of those movies that I kind of kept checking the runtime, being like, is this almost over? Because I feel like I've been watching this for like almost 2 hours now. Also, I know all the SpongeBob movies have celebrity cameos. This one was the worst. First of all, you got the homophobe Snoop Dogg. Fuck that guy. I knew they didn't know at the time, but fuck that guy. Um, you know, and then you get like Keanu Reeves who plays like a bush, and his cameo is so annoying because it doesn't feel well integrated with the movie at all, and he just keeps coming back up to do things in the movie, and it makes you go, really? Keanu Reeves is already not a great actor, and then having him act against zero actors and 3D animated bits was just like, come on, this is fucking stupid. It is just a nothing movie. I I really, honestly, I hated watching this movie. I'm gonna be honest. I hated watching it. It's not because it's really awful. I was just bored out of my mind. I was like, there are so many other things I could be doing with my time, and I'm watching this bullshit. So, let me know your thoughts, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching.